Okay, so good morning, good day everyone. I am Mark Louis Toriano Viñas, mostly known as Maloy, and today I am journaling. Basically, the process through which I wanted to visualize, or the process of manifesting my current project, which is MV Eco Park. So MV Eco Park, it's basically a sustainable ecosystem farm space where we make use of adaptive farming technology, in which when we say adaptive farming, one of the core fundamentals is making use of readily available materials. So we will make use of materials that are already here in the land that I am working on. So for example, here I have branches, dried branches, which was just, or which were just picked up here in the land. We have banana trunks, and over there by the compost pit, or by the here by the dried branches, we have the compost materials I've collected, such as ash, cow manure, and shells. So in adaptive farming, one of the main practices that is utilized is composting. So usually the issue with farms is how to have a good or healthy soil for you to plant on. So composting is basically the solution to this, and it's really easy because you just make use of, as I've said, materials that can just be found within the land. So when it comes to composting, there are two main components, which is nitrogen and carbon. Nitrogen, which is basically the greens, so green leaves, fresh leaves, cow manure. So those materials are actually rich in nitrogen, which is when it comes to soil, the nitrogen component is the energy used by the plant to grow. And then the carbon component, which are also called the browns, so they are the dried leaves. They are, oh, by the way, nitrogen, they are usually moist. So they are moist, they easily decompose. So this banana trunk right here is very moist, and it easily decomposes. So it's a green or nitrogen component. And then we have the carbon, so sawdust, dried leaves. So these are carbon materials. So together, nitrogen and carbon became or becomes the main components for compost material. So, and at the end, after the composting process, after breaking down, these two materials become very healthy soil, which of course is very beneficial when it comes to farming, when it comes to planting. Your plants, of course, will become healthy, will create more produce, and of course that's our one of our main goals. So from here, let's start mixing the banana trunks with the rest of the compost materials. And by the way, to explain more about the carbon materials, So unlike the greens or the nitrogen components, they are dry and they are hard to decompose. For example, the dried leaves or the sawdust, obviously they are hard to decompose, or it takes much more time for them to decompose as compared to nitrogen components. But together they have this interaction where when they are mixed together, they are encouraged, or the decomposing process is also sped up. And main a main technique to do this is to keep the mixture moist. So later I am going to put water in this mix, or in this compost mix. So as you can see, I've been cutting the banana chunks into strips. I've been splitting them into strips so they're at least much easier to decompose and to mix with the whole concoction, so to speak. So here I am now mixing them, or I am spreading them out within the compost pit. So yeah. Oh, and by the way, I mentioned earlier that there's also shells within the mix. So aside from nitrogen and carbon, it's also actually good if you put in calcium in your compost mix. So shells, eggshells, so you can save your eggshells and dry them, and then you can actually powderize them and mix them up with your compost pit. So this way your compost soil will be filled with more nutrients. So here we have charcoal, which is carbon. So there I've shown the basic process of composting. So it usually takes 1 month to 2 months for all of this to process, but if you put on chemicals or compounds that speed up the process, it's going to be much faster, up to less than a month. Okay, so that's it for today's journal. Catch me again next time for more knowledge sharing. Bye.